Welcome and good afternoon. Fade to Black breaking news for this Thursday, March 9th, 2023. I'm Jimmy Church, and this is all of the news that you need. On this day in history, 1997, Christopher Wallace, a.k.a. Biggie Smalls, a.k.a. the notorious B.I.G., is shot to death at a stoplight in Los Angeles. Just weeks before his new album titled Life After Death was scheduled to be released on this day in 1997. Here's your Fader fact today, fully vetted. Birds can't live in space because they need gravity to swallow. And that is your Fader fact. Let's get to the breaking news. A newly discovered asteroid will get really close to Earth in about 20 years, with a roughly 1 in 600 chance that it will collide directly with our planet. Officials with NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office has just announced. By the way, when you watch the movie Don't Look Up, which I talk about all the time, that Planetary Defense Coordination Office pops up in the film. It is a real office. While that's higher than average, a risk for something that is flying by our planet, near Earth asteroids, it's still a very small chance of impact, NASA says. And that risk level is expected to decline as clearer observation of the asteroid become available. Now, it was first detected back on February 27th. The asteroid is dubbed 2023 DW. It's estimated to measure about 160 feet in diameter, or roughly the length of an Olympic-sized pool. The asteroid is expected to make its very close approach to Earth on February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2046. I think I just came up with a new name. Antarctic sea ice has shrunk to a record low in February of this year. Satellite measurements revealed that only 66% of the sea ice extent, usually detected during the peak of the southern summer, has been present in the water surrounding the South Pole last month. The previous monthly record low was reported back in 2017 out of a series of measurements that dates back to 1979. The European Environment Monitoring Agency, Copernicus, has just announced all of the news earlier today. The agency's Sentinel satellites found below average sea ice concentrations in all regions of the Southern Ocean, the southernmost part of the global ocean that surrounds Antarctica. February 2023 was the fifth warmest February globally, with most of Europe warmer than usual. The U.S. East, northern Russia, Pakistan, and India also experienced above average temperatures. However, the U.S. West, northeastern Russia, Turkey, and northern Australia, on the other hand, experienced a colder February this year. It was a flip-flop. Scientists just blasted Barbies, that's right, Barbie dolls, with liquid nitrogen to test a new method of moon dust cleanup. And it worked out extremely well. So check this out. For the experiment, researchers, I'm not making this up. I'm not. It sounds made up. It's not. For the experiment, researchers at Washington State University dressed Barbies in makeshift spacesuits constructed of materials similar to what NASA uses. Then the team blasted the dolls with liquid nitrogen to test how well the cryogenic fluid would remove moon dust, or in this case, volcanic ash collected from the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens, which is similar in consistency to lunar dust from the gear. They found that spraying the spacesuit-clad dolls with liquid nitrogen not only removed more than 98% of the moon dust substitute, but also caused little or no damage to the Kevlar-like suit material. This proved to be a better solution than older methods when Apollo astronauts used lint brushes. That's right. Brushes. All right. Space startup Relativity Space was forced to call off the launch of the world's first 3D printed rocket. With just over a minute to go before liftoff, the startup opted to stand down from launching the world's first 3D printed rocket on its inaugural test flight. Relativity was set to launch its Terrain 1 booster yesterday from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, but technical difficulties at the launch pad forced the company to call off the attempt. We still don't know why. While 3D printed components have flown on rockets before, Relativity's booster is the first to be made almost entirely with 3D printing, which is also known as additive manufacturing. Relativity has not yet announced a new launch date and time, but company officials say details will be disclosed soon. Check this out. A centuries-old gold disc found in Denmark has revealed the earliest known mention of the Norse god Odin, and was shown that he was being worshipped at least 150 years earlier than previously thought. The disc, known as a braciate, was unearthed in a treasure trove in Vendelov, central Denmark, back in 2020, alongside Roman coins that had been reworked into jewelry. It was displayed to the public at a museum near the discovery site and only recently made available to academics who were able to establish its significance. Odin is one of the primary gods of Norse mythology, of course, a pre-Christian pagan belief system central to Viking society. Before the Vendelov hoard's discovery, the oldest mention of Odin was a brooch found in southern Germany from the latter half of the 6th century. Now I'm going to leave you with this feel-good story of the day. An elderly man survived on croissants, candy, and biscotti for nearly a week alone in his car, stuck in a snowbank on a desolate California highway. His name, Jerry Jure. He's 81 years old, and he set out from his mountain house in Big Pine, California on February 24th to return to his family home in Gardnerville, Nevada, just over 3 hours away in good driving conditions, right? Well, during the drive, Jure accidentally veered onto a smaller road, and his SUV became stuck near Gilbert Pass. The mathematician and former NASA employee was ill-prepared for the weather, wearing only a light windbreaker. After nearly a week buried in snow, on March 2nd, a cell phone ping identified by the California Highway Patrol team helped narrow the search area, and once weather allowed, a helicopter was deployed. As one team headed to refuel the aircraft, the pilot spotted something he initially thought was a large rock. Closer look revealed a vehicle, and the pilot spotted an arm waving out of the small opening in the car window. Now, after a brief hospital visit, he had to take a bus home to his wife in Gardnerville, as his SUV is still stuck in the snow. There you go. There's your Fade to Black breaking news. All of the news that you need for this Thursday, March 9th, 2023. Fade to Black breaking news is produced by Renee Newman. I'm Jimmy Church. Go Backley Tappy.